Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of CampusCare presents EdTalks. I, Mehek Dhiman, your host for the day, would like to welcome you all. EdTalks, a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. Our topic for the day is conducting effective sessions for students. And to express her viewpoints on the same, we have with us Ms. Pooja Malhotra, ma'am, Principal of Adarsh Public School, Vikaspuri, New Delhi. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Good evening.
How are you doing, ma'am? It's so good to have you here.
I'm doing good. It's a pleasure to have me on this platform.
Pleasure is all ours, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time. So let's start off with the session, ma'am, shall we?
Yes.
So, ma'am, firstly, when we talk about, students and teachers in classrooms, so what, in your point of view, what do you think that constitutes, an effective learning session?
See, the most important thing of an effective learning session is that you need to have a very clear objective. What you want to do. What is your goal? There should not be any ambiguity. The teacher should be very clear what she wants to teach. Suppose, we are driving a car and we do not know what is our destination.
Yeah.
So then there would be a lot of ambiguity. So if we are very clear with what we want to do, if the teacher knows what she has to teach, then things would be clear to the learners also. Also, very important thing is that you need to know your target audience. Now, you need to keep in mind beforehand that are you going to teach the small students or are you going to teach the senior students?
Yeah.
So your planning should be accordingly. You should go down to the level that's very important. You need to understand what kind of learners are there. There are four kinds of learners: kinesthetic, auditory, visual, reading, writing learners. So, as a teacher, she needs to understand that no child is same. There are individual differences, and these differences should be kept in mind while the session is being conducted. Now, when the teacher understands there are different kinds of learners, she needs to use different kinds of techniques in her teaching. She needs to bring certain visual skills, like visual teaching aids should be used. She needs to move around in the class. She needs to see what children are doing. She needs to use certain auditory skills, and also reading should be there. The child should also write. So that's how each and every child can be taken care of. If the teacher simply goes to the class and starts reading the lesson out, half of the children will not be able to learn anything. They will not be able to grasp. So it's very important to understand the psychology of the children. Once the teacher understands the psychology, there will be 90% of the children who will be able to grasp everything. We need to be, empathetic towards the children. We need to understand what they want to know. We need to go down to their levels. As a psychologist, I would say that we need to see and understand what the children want. There is no bad child. We need to just see how the children are going to learn. We need to go down to the level. That's very important.
Yeah. Absolutely, ma'am. We really need to, go down to their level. Thank you so much. So moving forward, ma'am, you were just explaining us about, an effective learning session. So how does this, these effective sessions affect the, whole process of learning?
Now, how does an effective session affect the learning? In If the session is effective, then you would see a lot of change in the children. They would be very happy learning such lessons. They would be interested. They would look forward to coming to the class. They would not bunk the class.
Yeah.
They would be very receptive. They would be focused on what the teacher is teaching. And once the lesson is effective, the teacher is teaching regularly effective lessons, then that teacher will become the favorite of all the children, and they would also score very, very well in their academics.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving forward, ma'am, why is this planning considered the most important step? Why the planning thing is very important in this effective session?
The planning is the most important thing in conducting an effective session, because if the teacher is well planned as to what she has to deliver, if she has, planned her lesson well beforehand, and she doesn't, just opens the book and starts teaching to the children, she knows the concept very well. She actually doesn't need to touch the book. So, in case the planning is done properly, then the teacher is also very confident. She knows what she is teaching. She is able to deliver her lecture very well, and in that case, the children would not lose any interest. As I said earlier, also there would be no absenteeism. The children would not bunk the class. They would feel interested coming to the class, and they would not get low grades also in that particular subject. So a teacher plays a very pivotal role in her lesson, in how the children are made interested to grasp the concepts.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And as you mentioned earlier, that uh, planning is really important, and different techniques of teaching. So there are different kind of learners, and a teacher, an educator must be aware what kind of learner are there present in my class, and how am I supposed to be teaching them. So, do you think these effective sessions, are a skill, and why is it important as a skill, ma'am?
These lessons are very important as a skill because they enhance the cognitive abilities of the children, and the attention span also increases. They are able to sit for a longer period of time. Their memory increases. The IQ and the EQ of the children becomes better, and they also become innovative. So that's how it enhances their skills. Now, also, I would like to add to an effective lesson planning is that the ice breaking is very important. As the teacher enters the class, first of all, she needs to do ice breaking. Suppose that it's a new teacher or a new session which has begun, and she doesn't know the children yet, or any kind of audience.
Yeah.
Then it is very important that an ice breaking session, maybe a paper ball is made and thrown to the children, and then whosoever catches the ball, that particular child says his or her name, introduces herself, then throws the ball to the other child. So this way the children get engaged, they feel excited, and they want to listen to now what the teacher is going to teach us. Secondly, the most important thing is brainstorming. Now, suppose the teacher has to teach a particular lesson, she should, in her first class, number one, do brainstorming, and she should do ice breaking session. Now, after the ice breaking session, she should just introduce the topic, tell the topic that today I am going to do a particular topic.
Yeah.
Then she should tell the children that now you go home and try to search for this topic. Try to find out what this topic means. Then, in the next class, children will come up with various things as to what this topic contains. They will come up with their ideas. Talk to the children what they have come to know about this particular topic. And after they start telling what they know, what they have come to know about the particular topic, then the teacher should introduce that particular topic. So that's how the children will be interested in that particular subject and in that particular topic. Also, it's very important to have small quizzes for these children. As soon as one chapter is over or one segment is over, you tell the children that next day when I come to your class, I am going to do a quick rapid fire with you. I'm going to ask you questions pertaining to what I have taught in the class today. So the next day, when the teacher comes and she takes 5 minutes just to ask a few questions, a quick quiz, which she is going to take up, the children will be excited to answer. Once they would be excited to answer, they would feel interested. And the teacher should give small incentives to these children.
Yeah.
May it be in the form of a pat on the back or clapping in the class, or she can give some sweets or a star in the notebook or on the hand. So that's how it creates the interest of the children. And similarly, this sort of quiz should be taken up almost every day in the class, and children would feel excited to answer. Once they're excited to answer, they would go home and revise. And once they revise, everything will go inside their brain. Also, various types of teaching aids should be brought to the class. Teacher should be well prepared, should be ready as to what she wants to do. Now, suppose many of the classes have smart boards.
Yeah.
If the teacher every day comes to the class and switches on the smart board and puts a module and tells the children, okay, this is it, this is the concept which I want to teach. Now, every day switching on the smart board and teaching through that, again, it would become monotonous and the children would stop enjoying. So, different techniques have to be used. May it be, bringing an object from home, or may it be telling the children to bring some picture and paste it in the notebooks related to the concept, or finding out things from the internet and bringing. So that's how you need to change your styles again and again. The teaching techniques should be changed almost every day. That's how the children will be involved. And the most important thing which I advise to many of the teachers is that they need to be happy coming to the class. Once they're happy coming to the class and they are thorough with the concept, what they're going to teach, that will be inculcated in the children. You will see a sea change in the children, in their mindset, in their interest, and they would be happy children. So, happy teacher makes a happy classroom. That's what would I say.
Absolutely, ma'am. A happy teacher makes a happy classroom. And you're just talking about the ice breaking thing, ma'am. I think it's really wonderful because I do not remember any of, classes, but I do remember my English teacher. What she used to do was she, she said you were supposed to talk in English in my class. So we were not listening to this. So what she did was she distributed, these fairy books, from Disney, from different fairy books and all these story books among us. So we used to read that and we used to, exchange that with each other. That's how, we get to know each other also because we were all new in the classroom and we were speaking in English at one point. So it was really wonderful. I think that was really smart of her to use this.
And also, I would add to it, like, children do not learn when they're confined to the four walls of the classroom. They need to be taken out. I advise my teachers that they should bring the books with the children and sit under the tree and teach them. A lesson beyond the classroom should be done. That's how children feel interested. Okay, today we are going to go out and we are going to learn. If you have to teach the concept of a flower or a plant, if the teacher carries a flower to the class or the children carry one flower to the class, and that's how the teacher teaches, it will make all the more difference. So it's not, important that you spend loads of money onto the teaching aids which are there in the market these days. It's these little small things which matter and would create an interest into the children. Also, a very small example I would like to give is that, that the teacher can give small incentives, as in a feather in the cap, or a small pen to the child in the form of a paper pen to be made, etc. So that would add an interest to the child, would give motivation to the children. What the teacher can do is she can tell the children to make small caps, write their names on the caps, and hang that chart on the board. Now, when the child does a good work, the teacher needs to make a small feather in the notebooks. Now, once the teacher makes a small feather in the notebook, the children are supposed to bring one feather from wherever they want to, from the road or from, anywhere. They need to bring a small feather and put it in that particular cap. By the end of the year or the end of one term, the child counts the number of feathers in the cap and feels happy and elated. So that's how I feel that these small things, they matter a lot. Stars or stickers in the notebooks, again, gives an incentive to the children and motivates them to do better. So there are various things teacher can plan, and the teacher can do wonders. And teacher is the one who plays the most important role in the lives of the children, more than their mothers also.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, Pooja ma'am, for being here today. It was really wonderful having you here.
You're most welcome.
And for all the viewers watching us out, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful being here.
Thank you, ma'am. It was lovely having you here and listening to your experiences. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.